Hello again. Welcome back to your 5-minute devotional stop with me, Amy Phillips. I'm on a journey moving from fear to faith, and I hope you'll join me for Just Believe. Hello, friends. Years ago, I was diagnosed with Lyme's disease after 2 years of not knowing what it was and why my body was falling apart. As with any unknowns, whether it's physically or otherwise, it's so hard to get to a place of peace. Suffering and hardship threaten our hope, and it can absolutely remove our peace. There are questions constantly. The biggest question in the midst of suffering is, are you really my Father? Are you really going to be with me in this? Do you see me? And let's be honest, in those times you can do two things. One is either embrace it and meet it head on with your Father, or you can freak out. One of the verses I stuck to in the middle of the night when there was pain, it was just me and Jesus, was Psalm 143:6. I spread out my hands to you. My soul thirsts for you like a parched land. At some point during this time, I was in bed and I felt God so near to me, and he said, stop treading water and sink. I thought, stop treading water? But I could see myself there in the deep end, just arms flailing, feet kicking. Where do I go next? What doctor should I see? What if I have something terrible that they haven't really found yet? What should I do? Just flailing about, trying to keep my head above water. And I looked below at the water and I couldn't see very far down because the water was dark. And it's like, you want me to go down there? Yes, beloved, let go. So I did. I stopped treading. Stopped trying to figure it out. I released my grip and I sank down into the depths with Jesus. And yes, he was there. His presence was there. Treasures were there. Intimacy with him was there. That season of life was one of my hardest, but I truly wouldn't give it up for the way God spoke to my heart and drew me near to him. A dear father in the faith said to me during that time, you don't find jewels and diamonds out on the earth's surface. You have to go into the dark places of the earth to find them. You have to dig into the ground. Isaiah 45:2-3 says, I will give you hidden treasures, riches stored in secret places, so that you may know that I am the Lord. He has purposed for us hidden treasure in secret places. His wonders are known in the place of darkness. We can find him in that sickness or that suffering like we've never known him before. If there's ever a place for your Father to show you that he is your dad and that he loves you, it's there in pain, in the midst of suffering. In that suffering, because sometimes you can't do anything else, you become acquainted with his heart for you, his goodness and love, no matter if pain or brokenness remains. If I can get there in my thoughts at that point, I can get there when any hardship comes, that I could have it in the depths of me. I am his. I'm his daughter. He is good and he sees me. So how do we become pros at not treading water, of trusting him and allowing him to show us the hidden treasures of his heart? Or how do we let go? So practically letting go when stuff's come up and you're overwhelmed, or when your heart is broken into a million pieces and you can't seem to find hope, or you've been in a hard marriage for years, you've been passed over again at your job, or you can't find freedom in an area of your life, there's sickness in you or a family member. In that place, in that brokenness, there you lay it down. You come in prayer and you say, I let this go. I don't want to try to hold on to it anymore. I choose you, I choose life and hope, and I refuse fear and powerlessness. And then declaring that truth over yourself, I am loved, I belong to you, I'm filled by God. It's really a place of surrender. And you invite him into your suffering. I have a friend who uses the picture of Jesus standing at the doorway, asking to come in and eat with you. But not just in your good times, but in your suffering. Jesus actually knocks at the door of your suffering and asks if he could come into it with you. I've had amazing times using my imagination to see Jesus knocking on the door of my suffering, inviting him into it with me. Sometimes we lie on the floor together and I tell him all about it, and he ministers to my heart. This is a process. Each time something hard comes, it's a different level of surrender. Sometimes you'll pass through with flying colors, and sometimes you're going to spaz out. But even in the spazzing out, you have a Father who will continue to draw you back to himself. So if you feel like you're treading water in any part of your life, Jesus wants to enter into your suffering with you. He's inviting you to let go, stop trying to figure it out, and just sink into him. Maybe today you'll take some time to envision inviting him into your suffering with you and telling him your heart. There you can let go and find the hidden treasure that he's promised to those who love him. Friends, you are loved. He's never giving up on you. He will never turn his back on you. He always hopes for you, and he's calling you today. So friends, run into your loving Father's arms. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you feel encouraged and strengthened. If you want to connect with me, you can find me at amybphillips.com. See you next time.